Hi, this is Superintendent Rich Dahman back with another edition of Making the Grade. It's great to be back with you again, and we're going to be talking a little bit about kindergarten today. We have Natalie Mailing and Carrie Rusted here with us today. Can the two of you start by sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do with Winona Area Public Schools, how long you've been with the school district?
Okay. Hi, I'm Carrie Rusted, and I've been teaching for 29 years, but I've been with Winona Area Public Schools for 20 years, and I've been doing kindergarten at Jefferson for that whole amount of time, so been here for a while.
Hi, I'm Natalie Mailing, as he said, and I've been teaching for 13 years. I've been in the district for 10 years, and I've been teaching kindergarten about 8 years. I've also had the opportunity to teach 3rd grade.
Well, welcome to both of you to Making the Grade,
Thank
and
you.
it's great that you're able to join us today. Can you start by sharing a little bit about what does a typical day look like through the eyes of a kindergarten student?
Well, we really try to keep it very welcoming every single day for them. We want it to be a place that they feel good about coming to every day. A typical day would be, you could see anything from whole group lessons to center activities going on, to even individualized one-on-one activities going on, depending on what each learner needs. And then
In kindergarten also, we've been lucky to have special. So in the day, depending on what day, they get to go to music class, they get to go to gym class, and they also get to go to art. We also have snack during the day, so they have a little bit of a milk break. We have a little bit of like a reading, a few minutes of some quiet time too, because it is busier in a kindergarten day. We also like to do projects, be really creative in kindergarten, use our imagination, and it's just a busy day.
Yeah, I know that you both have been with Winona Area Public Schools for a while, obviously longer than I have, so you have more experience on this than I do. But can you give a little background on, I know that some districts have made recent changes to 5 days a week for kindergarten or to full day kindergarten. How does that look like previous to this year, and how does that look now for us?
Well, when I started in the district in 1999, that was the first year we started all day, everyday kindergarten for 5 years, or for 5 days every week, which was a big adjustment, but really exciting for our district. And I feel like it's, we've seen different things happen throughout, but to have them there every day, all 5 days, is super beneficial to them and to us. It's a non-rushed day, but we can get a lot of things done. And a lot of kids nowadays are in daycare anyway, so it's nice to have them just be in their same setting the full day like that. So.
And I would agree. It's been great since I've started. It's been 5 days, full day, every day.
All right. I know that start to schooling is vitally important for student success. And even prior to entering kindergarten, there's some things that students need to know and be able to do to be the most successful that they can be as kindergartners. Can you share a little bit about what are some of those skills that students hopefully will have in place when they enter kindergarten?
Well, one thing I feel that is really important is the communication. So for them coming into kindergarten to be able to express themselves, so if they have a need, can I use the bathroom, being able to ask the teacher. Other needs such as, well, where do I go to do this? Where's the lunchroom? It's very important that they can communicate some of their needs and wants if there's a problem. Also some things such as buttoning up their coats, putting on their tennis shoes, just little things that make it a lot easier for them being able to put coats on. What else do you think?
Exactly. I have the same things down, and just being able to sit and listen for a small period of time, just knowing how to be able to sit on the carpet and just be attentive, holding a pencil, maybe writing their name, some real basic things. But if they come to school ready to learn and be there, that's what we can do. We'll get the rest of it done. So.
I think that's an important point that you brought up, because and also that it's not just the case for kindergartners.
Right.
That some of those expectations around not only the academic side, but being able to get along well with others and the social side allow that education to be more successful. So that's interesting to hear.
Very important.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about kindergarten registration. I know that we have a few different things coming up. One of the things that is impacting it a little bit is we have a budget reduction process in our school district, and we are going to be making some budget cuts. And some of our programming decisions have been put on hold while we go through the budget cut process. We don't want to make promises to parents and then have to go back after the budget cuts and say, well, that program was cut, or we're tweaking things a little bit because of our budget cuts. So can you talk a little bit about the kindergarten registration process, about when that is going to be held?
Well, this year, one really nice thing is it's going to be at the Winona Middle School. It's February 22nd. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. And then it's just basically a one step. Do you want to explain who's going to be there?
Do they usually have key kids and some of the different people are there?
After school care kids program. The nurse is going to be there if there's any questions.
The principals from the different buildings. And then they're just going to register though for the district itself. Like you said, Mr. Dom, and they'll know later on down the road which school they're particularly registering for. But it's just a basic registration for, you're going to be at Winona Area Public Schools. So.
And also transportation will be there. So then they can also sign up if their child is planning on getting on the bus or not. And then everything that we do now is all online. So it's all kindergarten registration. So there'll also be tech support people there. If they have any problems, any questions, they'll be there too to help out.
All right, yeah, so parents just show up on that February 22nd they bring the student with, and are able to take care of all of those different things at the same place and the same time.
Same place, same time, yes.
And a lot of people there to help if they have questions. So there's lots of things that'll be taken care of if they don't know.
One question that we hear sometimes is what kind of choice programs? I think people are familiar with what attendance area they live in for the most part, and sometimes it's different if they have other kids in schools already. For some of these new kindergartners, they're the first child in their family to start school, and then it can be a little bit different. But can you talk a little bit about some options that parents have, or any of the choice programs that we have with our kindergarten students?
Okay, well, all of our schools are wonderful. We have, if you want to talk about maybe STEM.
Yep, I teach at the STEM school, and that's one of the choice programs that they can choose from. Another one is the SLIP program, which is currently at Madison, and that's the Spanish Immersion program. So if you feel like your child would benefit from one of those two programs, you're welcome to register for those online as well.
Okay, great. And I know that many of our audience know what those stand for, and you explained that the SLIP is the Spanish Language Immersion Program, so SLIP is an acronym for SLIP. And STEM, you want to talk a little bit more about the STEM program?
Yes, our STEM school is science, technology, engineering, and math. And it's basically an inquiry-based program where the children do a lot of hands-on learning and things like that. And we're very excited about it. We do a lot of fun things with science, and I do know at some point maybe our whole district will be able to be immersed in that as well. But I feel really good about it. But like Natalie said, all of our schools have wonderful things to offer. So whatever choice the parents make is, for their child will be a good one. So.
Yeah, and I do know, I'm glad that you mentioned that too, Carrie, because I know that we are looking at a process district-wide where we do roll out that STEM initiative across all of our schools. So there's a possibility that some of those things will be in place next year, but otherwise it'll be a multi-year process to roll that out. We've had a great pilot program at Jefferson, and that's worked really well for students and families. So that's wonderful. Also on the registration process, when parents register their child for kindergarten, can you speak a little bit more about how they know which elementary they'll attend, and both the choice part, but also especially if parents are new, if it's their first child, how they know which school they'll go to?
Okay, well, as you had mentioned already, after the budget reductions, the decisions will be made in April. And then they'll be able to tell parents where to go. And then in April also, we have our kindergarten open house night. So then once they know what school they'll be able to go to, then that's where they'll see. And the open house night is actually going to be open to all grades instead of just kindergarten.
Okay, and is that new this year, or has that been the case in the past with that open house night being open to multiple grades?
Last year was our first year doing that,
I think so. We've had showcase nights before, but this year, just because there might be some changes, the decision was made to start it in April, and then parents will know what school that they're at, and it's on April 23rd from 5:30 to 7. So that's when parents can come.
Wonderful. And I can share a little bit more about that, the role that that budget cut process takes. We're going to be sharing with the school board actually next week some beginning ideas and options on budget cuts. And the school board is going to have almost 2 full months to look into it. We have a community committee that's a budget reduction committee that's made up of staff and community members. And the reason that some of these decisions about schools is put off until April is because on March 29th, the school board is going to make their final decision on the budget cuts for next year. And again, we really want to make sure that that decision is made before we make some promises to students about different opportunities and programs to students and parents.
It's a good plan, rather than
that's right.
backtracking.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the little bit of time that we have left, is there anything else that you want to add about how kindergarten is going this year, what we're looking forward to for next year, anything that parents can be thinking about coming into the registration process?
Well, one nice thing is we have an open line of communication. So if they ever need to get a hold of us, questions, they can call our schools. I'd be more than willing to help answer questions. I feel like we're just really excited to get new kids coming into our district, and we're just gonna keep going away with them. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yep. And I'm always amazed every year how fast the school year goes and how much growth these little kindergartners make. It's really fun. I think that's what keeps me in that grade level year after year is where they are in the beginning to where they are now to where they end up completing the year. It's amazing, the transition. So it's a great program and it's a great district to be part of.
Wonderful. Yeah, it always is a surprise how fast the year goes, but when you compare students where they are at the start of the year and where they are
amazing.
midway
It is
or at the end of the
amazing.
year, the growth that they make is phenomenal. So
Yep.
thank you both for the work that you do, and thank you very much for coming in and joining us on Making the Grade today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Hi, I'm David Dickey, inviting you to join me for a special program, 30 Seconds in Winona in 30 Minutes. Our program is a special look at the Frozen River Film Festival's 30 Seconds in Winona Short Film Festival held this past October. I'll speak with the filmmakers and we'll view their award-winning films. Watch 30 Seconds in Winona in 30 Minutes, February 6th and 7th at 6 p.m. It's brought to you by the Winona County History Center and Libra Knapp Law Offices.
Join us for our new show, Explore the Outdoors with HBC. Fishing, hiking, skiing. Say goodbye to cabin fever as we explore the different activities you can do outdoors in Winona and the surrounding areas. Explore the Outdoors airs Sunday through Tuesday at 5 p.m. on HBC TV 25. Brought to you by Oz Lifting.
Cost Cutters is your family's full-service salon specializing in cuts, colors, and curls. Visit any one of our professional stylists today and get the look you want for less. Well, we played a little musical chairs here on the set of Making the Grade. I'm Dave Dickey, and in our second segment here, I'll be interviewing Superintendent Rich Dahman about how the school district has been faring here these last few months. And Rich, good to see you again.
Thanks, Dave. It's good to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about where things have been, and been 6 months now since you've been on the job already. I guess it really doesn't seem like it's been quite that long, but I guess that's good, right? Time's flying. What do you see as the strengths of the school district at this point?
I would have to first agree that the time has gone by really quickly. In my first 6 months, it seems to be flying past, and I'm enjoying that. Some strengths of the school district, I have to start by talking about our staff. And by staff, I mean everyone that works or is involved with Winona Area Public Schools. I've been very impressed by the people that go above and beyond doing what it takes to help our students be successful and to collaborate and work together. So that's one thing that I want to highlight as something that I've noticed right away as a strength. I also have found out a lot about our business and higher education partnerships. We have a strong higher education community here in Winona, and we have some great partnerships with them and with our business groups. One thing that gets a lot of recognition is our new REACH program and the BEN program, the Business Education Network, run in cooperation between the high school, Winona Senior High School, and the Winona Area Chamber of Commerce. So a portion of that is new this year, but it's going really well. A great opportunity for some of our students to get out and get some direct experience in businesses and not only learn more about that, but also get some experiences. This year, that's a manufacturing base, and we're going to expand that to another class in manufacturing next year, but also a healthcare group, which will be a great fit to help meet our community's needs. And we also have a large number of, at Winona Senior High School, a large number of opportunities for students to earn credit both at the high school and higher education credit. We have some articulated classes in partnerships with Southeast Tech and also partnerships with Winona State and St. Mary's that have worked really well. A couple other things that I've seen as strengths. One is just a commitment from the community to support the schools. A year ago, we had passed a technology levy to upgrade our technology and provide support for our one-to-one initiative. So that's a great community school partnership. The commitment to mental health support, I think, is something that we have a lot of staff members getting trained in and being alert to how being able to meet students' mental health needs allows them to be more successful academically, and that combination. And then one thing that we're working on and that's going to really allow us to continue to improve is just that knowledge that there are things that we want to get better at, and that continuous improvement process, that we're willing to look at the things that we do, look at how we measure those, measure our success against our goals, and work hard to continue to improve.
So what are some of the things that you and your team are working on right now?
I think one of the areas that we're working on is just that overall student achievement. Are we doing everything that we can to help every student be successful in all areas? Oftentimes that's spoken to in regards to math and reading and science, because those are the areas where there are state tests that students take and you see the results. But we really want to make sure, not just in those areas, but in every area, that we identify students who are struggling to meet the standards at their grade level. We're providing the necessary support and that focus on all students. I think that's an important concept. And it's easy to say that we want to have every student and all students be successful, but at times it's with some students that's easier than with others, and it's important for us that students that struggle academically are getting the support and the help that they need. In addition to academically, one of the things that we've really been working on is making sure that we get our finances in order as a school district, and it ties into the academic piece because when we have our finances in order, then we're able to focus our available resources in the classroom and on students and program needs versus meeting the needs of our facilities. A big part of getting our finances in order is going to be around making sure that we have a long-term solution to our facilities issue. We've been talking about our facilities for 20 plus years here, and it's really important that we are efficient users of public funds. And the public, both local taxpayers and at the state level and somewhat at the federal level, we get funding from all of those different sources. And we have to make sure that we're making decisions that allow us to use those funds wisely and in an efficient manner. And then all of those different pieces are kind of tied in by making sure that we're building trust in the community. I think that over the past years, there's been times where there's been levels of distrust between different entities, both within the school district and between the school district and the community. So we're working hard to be transparent, be upfront, and do everything that we can to both gain trust of the community and also give trust to others.
This past November, a referendum was put before the voters, and it did not pass. So what does that mean now for the district? What's going to happen now financially and then with some of the facilities?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the facilities discussion has been going on for a large number of years here in our school district. And it's vitally important that we come up with a long-term solution, something that sets up Winona Area Public Schools for the next 50 or more years. As you mentioned, the referendum this past fall didn't pass, and I appreciate the way that you phrased that, because it wasn't a close vote at all. And it really sent a message to us that the different parts of that plan are not things that our community was in favor of. So a big part of moving forward for us is going to be making sure that we're listening and communicating with people both within the school district, with our staff and our administration and the school board, making sure that we're all on the same page, but also that we're communicating, listening with the people in the community, because ultimately those are the people that are going to need to provide the support both at the ballot box in voting something forward, but also to provide the financial support. One other thing that I want to add on that is that right now, as our facilities are aging, that infrastructure is becoming more and more expensive to maintain. And when we compare our school district to all other districts across the state of Minnesota, and we look at on a per pupil basis, we spend considerably more per student on maintaining our buildings, and we have a larger number of square feet per student than most other districts in the state. That money, as I mentioned before, comes at the expense of programs and students. Where we've been saving, in a way, our taxpayers some money is that our debt service is considerably lower than the average across the state. And that's because we haven't sunk a lot of taxpayer funds into new buildings. We're operating these buildings and we've gotten a lot of use for them, and they've served us very well. They're beautiful schools. But part of our long-range decision is how do we find a better balance there so that such a large portion of our general fund isn't being utilized on facilities and can be used for those programs.
So that's going to keep you busy coming up with that plan. But what other projects and initiatives are going on right now?
Yeah, we really have, the next couple months are going to be vitally important for us, both for the short term for Winona Area Public Schools, but also for setting the tone for long term. We will be sending out in the next couple weeks, in mid-February, a community survey that's going to be going out to all households in the community, and we're looking for information about our facilities and our past referendum, but we're also going to be using that information to drive our discussions around our strategic planning, which will be taking place between next week. We actually have our opening session for our strategic planning through maybe mid-May or so is our timeline on that. That process is really going to be around not only identifying what's important for our school district coming up, what do we have as a mission and a vision, but also some key steps and strategies on how we're going to achieve those goals and how we're going to hold ourselves accountable to meeting that. So that strategic planning process is going to be vitally important. We also are going through a budget reduction process for next year. We have to cut $1.7 million from our operating budget for the 2018-19 school year. And that's going to be an important discussion. That's also going to be kicked off on February 1st at the school board meeting. And then stemming from all of that will be a discussion and a future decision on how to best meet our facilities needs. So a lot going on over the next few months.
Right. The plate is rather full, I would say. We've got about 2 minutes left. Can you tell us a little bit about how these first 6 months have gone for you and what you've learned about not only the school district, but about the community as a whole?
Sure. On a personal basis, I've really enjoyed being here so far. As I mentioned before, the 6 months have gone by really fast, and I'm really enjoying both the work and living here in the Winona area. It's a wonderful, beautiful area, wonderful people, so that's gone very well. I've noticed, again, that we have very large support from the community, and one of the things that we really want to focus on with our staff and with everyone, with all of our stakeholders, is that buy-in to collaborate and to work together to achieve our goals and to improve. I think oftentimes we get mired in detailing what the problem is rather than identifying a solution. So we're really trying to focus on being solution-based and how can we take the situation that we're in and turn it around so that we're in a situation where we're able to do what's best for students academically.
Right, very good. And just about out of time. Really quickly, anything else you want to add?
You know, just to encourage community members when that survey comes out to get involved with that survey. It's going to be vitally important for us to get information from everyone across the community, and we're going to be making some important decisions based on that information. So getting involved with that, with our strategic planning process, and when you have questions, get in touch with your building principal or with myself. We're easy to reach and always anxious and excited about working with community members.
All right, very good. Well, Rich, thanks for sharing your thoughts on the first 6 months, and look forward to hearing how the first year has gone here a little bit, well, I guess next summer.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Let's hope it goes just as fast.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun spring.
And that is going to wrap it up for Making the Grade today. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.